You're listening to Spin It, a spin on digital marketing. We are spinning the discussion about everything web, graphics, digital marketing, and much more. And we're here to help get your business's online presence back on track. Join the team as we spin it. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Spin It, another episode. We're here today to talk about the next video in the Business Community Opportunity Series. Cheryl will be joined by Jill Nelson and Lydia Schuur from the Growth Alliance, and today they're going to be talking about the next video of Jeff Haupts with State Farm. I know they've said they've really enjoyed this video series and getting to talk about it, so I know they're going to have some great content for you today. So we're just going to get right into it today. So with that, Cheryl, take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Caleb. And yes, we are really excited because we're halfway through this campaign, which is amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe it, but at the same time, I can believe it.
Well, it is. You know, when we look back at what we've done in the last year and a half, because people are probably thinking, oh, well, they just throw this together and realize that there was a lot of work and thought behind it. And, of course, we have Jill Nelson with the Growth Alliance. That was an integral part of it, and Lydia Schuur with the Growth Alliance today as well. And so this makes it really exciting on partnering. Mm-hmm. Dennis's favorite word.
Yep.
Collaboration all together here.
Yep.
And how it impacts every facet of our community, of our region, that these businesses here are smaller businesses, but they are critical to how our community grows.
Yeah.
And the stories that we get to tell about it. So our first one is Jeff Haupts with State Farm. And many people know State Farm very well because Jake from State Farm, which I think a little tidbit here is Jake actually was a State Farm agent before he became famous as Jake.
Yes. I remember Jeff telling that story. Yep. Yes.
That's cool. I like that.
On there. So a little bit of trivia that we can add to it as well. So Jeff has a very unique story. He originally came from the area. He and his wife and 5 daughters, which you will learn about in the video, actually are from the area. And they made this their community by coming back to it. So let's talk about how that really played into their decisions and why did they come back to Fort Dodge? Why did they come back to the area?
Yeah. So it was really great for me to be able to work with Jeff in this video series because he's actually a family friend of ours. I grew up with his older sister, and our parents are friends, and so it's been cool because he moved back to Fort Dodge around the similar time frame that I did, and I think him and his wife Haley, they were living in the Ames area, and then an opportunity arose in Fort Dodge with State Farm. So he was already working for State Farm in the Ames area, and this individual was retiring, and so he purchased that State Farm business and moved back here. And again, the title of our series here is Business Community Opportunity. And we titled that because literally all of our business owners that we're interviewing, they're talking about opportunity. So just like Jeff did, saw the opportunity to move back, raise his family in the Fort Dodge region, be closer to family, really, have, grandparents here to help with kids and raise their kids with close family members. And so he bought this business, and his story, I think, is really awesome because he took an existing business and he has grown it, and he's become very successful. He's actually expanding his business, or recently expanded it in the region, and he did it through connections and networking and hard work, and he just has a really really great story to tell. And I mean, and a great individual overall too.
Very much so. Well, and you brought up a very good point. I emphasize this with any of our interns and anybody that we work with leadership, whatever it may be, networking.
Yep.
Please start networking at whatever age, because you don't know how big of an impact that will be. Who you meet now can be a big influence in a variety of ways 10, 20 years down the line. So it's that important, and Jeff takes that to the next level.
Yeah, and he actually, I don't think these comments actually made it into his video, but he was talking about, his community involvement and how that has evolved quite a bit over the last, 8 or 10 years since he moved back, because when he first moved back to the community, he was really involved in, things like service clubs and all of that. And now he has 5 daughters. The oldest is middle elementary school. The youngest is right around 1, I think. And so his attention has kind of needed to shift a little bit. So his community involvement now has shifted to involvement with his daughters and their activities that they do. So he's still very out in the community, meeting people and networking, but he's doing it now in a place and in an area that is connected to his family too.
Exactly. And you'll see that no matter what, that understanding the networking. And I know with all the sports that I went through with all my kids, sitting in the bleachers and for years and years with those people. And, we just went to a wedding in July and sat at the table with the same people that we sat in the bleachers with all those years.
That's so cool.
And it was really cool because we don't see each other as much anymore. So again, that networking now, and that's part of what Jeff says. He talks about community. And his comment was the connection of a small town and all the opportunities of a big town were directly impacted why they moved back to Fort Dodge.
I love that comment. Yep. Connections of a small town with the opportunities of a big town.
Yep. So that's one of the, again, what's really exciting is how that played into all of the videos, every one of them out there. And that conversation, every one of them has made in some way or another that comment that the connections of a small town and the opportunities of a big town can be found right here in our own region.
Yeah, and what I like with those comments, and we've talked about this previously, nobody watched anybody else's interviews. That was not a specific question that was asked, but it was a common thread. And it's so cool that that's something that everyone is noticing and talking about.
Yep, very much so on there. Well, and then also he talks about growth and economic development of the area and how that impacts him as he grows his business, and just that layering of everything. Everything has one thing goes one way and it impacts something else, and how being very into the community and working with the community and working with the Growth Alliance and everybody else out there has helped him to grow his business, which in turn grows.
Yep.
He actually went and opened up another business, another state farm.
Yeah. Yeah. His words that he used to describe really why he is a member of the Growth Alliance and the connection that he sees there is really what we hope all businesses understand, that connection with when the community grows, that gives their business the opportunity to grow. And he says it in just the perfect words.
Exactly. Well, in the video that's just being released right now with Craig Girard, he said the same thing.
Yes.
Yep.
That the impact of Cargill and some of the bigger companies coming in, how it impacted his business. But he played a big part in what Cargill, because he was providing a service that the employees of Cargill needed. So it works out both ways. Small businesses support large businesses and vice versa.
Absolutely.
So that was also one of the things that Jeff brought up is opportunities that you don't always realize are available by networking and by communicating with the Growth Alliance or being part of the different events and activities out there. he finds opportunities that if he just stayed in his office, he just wouldn't be able to have.
Right.
Yep.
So very cool comments on there as well. And when he opened the second, I think, was it this year, State Farm, the other one in the region on there. And again, that's so exciting to see somebody like Jeff come into a community, start from scratch. I mean, he had a book of business, yes, and he had that there, but he had to build that in order to grow the other one, and using the resources not only in the community, but that the Growth Alliance brings on as well, have been a huge part of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just seeing young business owners like Jeff is always exciting. I mean, they're building their homes, they're building their families here. And I mean, that's what we love to see. And we have there's so many people that are just like Jeff and his family, that are realizing that they want to move to a region that is flourishing with opportunity, with friendly faces, and the feeling of a small town, the closeness and the connection, but then also the opportunities that are there that you'd see in a big community.
Exactly. So we do have, as we've illustrated through the first set of videos that we've sent out, a lot of opportunity with the Fort Dodge Fine Arts on there. How the different things that are available there, and the development of the Phillips School auditorium and those type of things. So lots of opportunities here. Workforce recruitment is always looking for this information as well, and hearing it directly from the small business owner like Jeff really resonates out there. They can hear it from the big companies, which we totally appreciate, but hearing it from the small companies really relates better to them as individuals moving to the community.
Absolutely. And as a community and as business owners in the community, we all need to be sharing this message. And because it's so important for us to be known as a region where, these opportunities exist. And I mean, we want other people just like Jeff to move here and to see really the Fort Dodge region for what it is, and so many amenities, and whether it's recreation or fine arts, like you were talking about, Cheryl. I mean, there is so much to do here. And Jeff, with his young family, 5 young daughters, he would tell you that there is so much going on and so many fun things to do. And I know that they are a busy young family, and that's just the stories that we love to hear. But also as a community, we need to be shouting from the rooftops too.
Exactly. That's why these videos also are available for anybody to use out there. We encourage the businesses within the community, take them, go in and link them up. They are all set up to be linked up. Use any of the press releases, share this podcast, whatever you want to do, and use that for your own business to promote it. Because anything that you do helps everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yep. We're all in it together.
We're all in it together. Exactly. Yeah. All 10 of these videos are all in it together.
Yes.
On there. So this is really exciting. So again, we're really thrilled to be able to highlight Jeff Haupts in the State Farm group and have him in our community, and really talk about all the things that he sees as a real reason for moving back to the community on there. So very excited about that. And thank you again, Jill Nelson and Lydia Schuur with the Growth Alliance. And we'll be back in a couple weeks with another podcast talking about our next video.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Spin It Podcast.
Make sure you check out our brand new website at www.spinmarket.com. That's www.spinmarket.com.
And follow us on social media at Spin Market to keep up to date with all that's happening.
If you'd like to sponsor an episode of the Spin It Podcast, fill out the form on our website, www.spinmarket.com.
And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channels so you never miss an episode.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Spin It.